Hey guys! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we will be talking all about fiscal policy. Let's get started. Fiscal policy refers to government tools used to influence the economy in order to manage economic growth, inflation, and employment levels. In the last video, we discussed that in the long run, an economy in a recessionary or inflationary gap can revert back to long-run equilibrium. Fiscal policy can speed up this process of an economy reverting back to long-run equilibrium. There are two main tools of fiscal policy. The first one is taxes. Taxes decrease disposable income, which in turn decreases consumer spending. So increases in taxes are going to decrease the amount of consumer spending within the economy, while decreases in taxes will increase the amount of consumer spending within the economy. The second tool is government spending. This includes government purchases in infrastructure, education, military, etc., as well as transfer payments like Social Security, unemployment benefits, and food stamps. Government spending can either be discretionary or mandatory. Discretionary spending, like government purchases, is adjustable and decided and voted on by Congress. Mandatory or non-discretionary spending, like transfer payments, is not adjustable and is required by the law. Now let's discuss different types of fiscal policy. The first type is called expansionary fiscal policy. It's employed by governments to get out of a recessionary gap by increasing spending and/or decreasing taxes. In a recession, real GDP output is lower than full employment output, while unemployment is high. To fix this problem, the government cuts taxes and/or increases spending. This shifts the aggregate demand curve to the right, bringing the economy back to long-run equilibrium. However, a bad side effect of expansionary fiscal policy is an increase in price levels or inflation, as you can see on this graph. On the other hand, contractionary fiscal policy is employed by governments to get out of an inflationary gap. It involves decreasing government spending and/or increasing taxes. In an inflationary gap, inflation is rising quickly and becoming an issue. To fix this problem, the government increases taxes and/or decreases spending. This shifts aggregate demand to the left, bringing the economy back to long-run equilibrium and also bringing the price level back down. Fiscal policy is not a perfect tool for governments to manage their economy. In reality, there are lags to discretionary fiscal policy because of factors such as the time it takes to decide on and implement a policy action. Lag times can reduce or eliminate the effectiveness of fiscal policy. For example, when the economy enters a recession, it will take some time for Congress and the President to recognize the need for discretionary fiscal policy. Then, it will take time for policy changes to be developed and passed by Congress. Finally, it will take even more time for the policy to be implemented and take effect. Governments must decide how much they need to change spending or how much they need to change taxes to help their economy correct itself in the long run. The spending and tax multiplier, that you learned from a previous lesson, is useful in determining these values. Let's see an example. Suppose an economy is in a recession with an output gap of $100 million. The marginal propensity to consume is 0.8 and the marginal propensity to save is 0.2. To figure out the change in government spending or change in taxes that the government needs to make to fix this gap, we must first calculate the spending and tax multipliers. In this particular situation, the spending multiplier would be 5 and the tax multiplier would be 4. Next, we need to divide the output gap by the multiplier to determine the values needed to fix the gap. So in order to correct this particular economy, the government would have to increase spending by $20 million and decrease taxes by $25 million. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.